What's cooking, WWE Nation? This is Ringside Insider bringing you fresh wrestling heat every day. Smash subscribe and let's jump right in. Next week's SmackDown has already been taped, and the main event promises one of the most chaotic segments in recent memory. Solo Sikoa, leader of the dominant MFD faction, finds himself at the center of an unprecedented beatdown from three of WWE's biggest stars. This isn't rumor. This is a pre-taped spoiler that shifts the narrative trajectory for both Solo Sikoa and SmackDown heading into 2026. The segment is about more than physical destruction. It's a storytelling pivot, redefining alliances, testing loyalty, and sending a message to the entire roster. For fans, it's a rare glimpse of organized chaos, a moment where long-term planning, fan anticipation, and in-ring psychology collide. The fallout from this segment is expected to resonate for months, influencing character arcs, faction dynamics, and main event opportunities. The build to chaos. The tension leading into the main event is deliberate and methodical. Solo Sikoa and MFD have been asserting dominance throughout recent weeks, controlling SmackDown through calculated beatdowns and numbers game attacks. Their dominance has created a narrative of fear, respect, and intimidation, establishing them as the undisputed enforcers of the blue brand. Meanwhile, the stars of the opposing side, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and CM Punk, have been gradually built as credible threats, with prior storylines emphasizing skill, resilience, and strategic thinking. WWE's creative team designed this main event to deliver payoff for weeks of tension, combining physical spectacle with narrative satisfaction. The audience is primed to witness confrontation, where strategy, momentum, and alliances dictate the outcome, and Solo Sikoa's role as the central figure makes the ensuing chaos all the more impactful. Solo Sikoa and MFD's ruthlessness. The main event begins with Solo Sikoa and MFD targeting Cody Rhodes, immediately establishing the numbers game dynamic. Solo isn't just a fighter. He's a methodical leader who uses intimidation, aggression, and precision to dominate opponents. The segment demonstrates MFD's operational ruthlessness. Each attack is calculated, every movement choreographed to maintain supremacy. Cody barely has a chance to react before MFD swarms him, reinforcing their narrative as a dominant faction. Solo's presence is central, his actions setting the tone for the beatdown. The psychology is clear. The faction thrives on collective power, and any opposition must overcome more than brute strength. It requires coordination, timing, and an understanding of Solo's leadership. This opening establishes stakes, tension, and an anticipation of what it will take to turn the tide against the dominant group. Jey Uso's arrival. Just when MFD seems unstoppable, Jey Uso's music hits, creating the first moment of uncertainty for the faction. Jey enters with energy, crowd engagement, and a determination to even the odds, signaling WWE's investment in balancing chaos with hope. His actions are deliberate, immediately targeting MFD members, and his charisma amplifies the audience's emotional response. For a moment, it appears that the tide may shift, highlighting the narrative of underdogs challenging an entrenched hierarchy. Jey's involvement reinforces WWE's pattern of using established fan favorites to test dominant factions' credibility. Even though the numbers initially overwhelm him, his presence forces MFD to respond, creating space for Cody to recover. The storytelling here emphasizes the struggle between sheer dominance and resilience. foreshadowing the ultimate payoff while maintaining tension in the early stages of the segment. The numbers game prevails. Despite Jey Uso's intervention, MFD's strategic advantage remains formidable. The faction quickly regains control, swarming Jey and leaving both him and Cody incapacitated. This moment reinforces MFD's established dominance and illustrates the peril of challenging a faction that operates cohesively. The audience is kept on edge as the apparent inevitability of MFD's victory creates suspense. WWE's choreography ensures that the beatdown is intense but not damaging to credibility. Every member of MFD demonstrates coordinated aggression without undermining future narrative potential. This structure emphasizes long-term storytelling. Solo and his faction remain credible threats. The hero's resilience is tested, and the eventual turning point will carry dramatic weight. By maintaining MFD's strength while setting up their eventual defeat, WWE maximizes tension and emotional investment in the outcome. CM Punk shifts the momentum. The moment the arena erupts at CM Punk's music, everything changes. Punk enters with purpose, immediately attacking MFD with authority and intensity. His presence alters the narrative dynamic, demonstrating that momentum in wrestling is as much psychological as it is physical. Punk's strategic involvement ensures that the tide finally begins to turn, providing Cody and Jey the opportunity to recover. This shift emphasizes storytelling through alliances and timing. Punk doesn't overpower the faction alone, but he catalyzes a collective response. His veteran instincts guide the segment, balancing chaos with structure. By allowing the crowd to witness a controlled yet chaotic reversal, WWE underscores Punk's role as a pivotal figure capable of disrupting dominance, setting the stage for the climactic confrontation that follows. The combined assault with Punk in the ring, the segment evolves into a full-scale confrontation. Cody, Jey, and Punk synchronize their efforts to systematically dismantle MFD members one by one. The segment is carefully choreographed to emphasize strategy, teamwork, and resilience. Each elimination is methodical, building audience anticipation for the inevitable confrontation with Solo Sikoa. This portion of the segment highlights the narrative payoff. The heroes must collaborate to overcome insurmountable odds, providing satisfying progression from the earlier beatdown. Every strike, every counter, and every interaction conveys both physical intensity and story logic. The audience experiences the satisfaction of seeing the faction challenged, while Solo's continued survival amplifies his significance, ensuring that the final moment carries maximum narrative and emotional impact. Solo Sikoa's destruction. After the faction is neutralized, Solo Sikoa remains alone in the ring, the final target of the collective assault. The segment reaches its apex as Cody delivers his finisher. Jey follows with his signature move, and Punk lands the decisive blow. Solo is left thoroughly defeated, standing as a visual symbol of narrative consequence. The audience witnesses the consequences of hubris and dominance challenged by collaboration and timing. Despite the destruction, Solo's credibility remains intact. His prior dominance ensures that the loss doesn't diminish him as a character. The segment carefully balances narrative closure with future potential, demonstrating how a single in-ring story can reset faction dynamics, elevate heroes, and create questions about a dominant character's next chapter. Implications for SmackDown. This segment isn't merely a physical beatdown, it represents a pivot in SmackDown storytelling. Alliances have shifted, Faction credibility has been tested, and audience expectations have been subverted. Solo Sikoa's temporary defeat creates space for character development, faction tension, and new rivalries. Cody, Jey, and Punk's teamwork establishes a template for collective resistance against dominant factions, reinforcing storytelling logic and audience engagement. The outcome also hints at creative planning for early 2026. Faction dominance must be maintained carefully. Heroes must earn victories through collaboration, and narrative stakes are heightened across the roster. This main event demonstrates that WWE is investing in layered storytelling, where consequences, strategy, and timing define both character arcs and episodic impact. Looking forward, the fallout from this pre-taped SmackDown main event sets up multiple potential storylines. Solo Sikoa's response, the internal dynamics of MFD, and the rise of Cody, Jey, and Punk as unifying forces all provide narrative paths that can extend for months. The segment proves that WWE's long-term storytelling relies on layered choreography, crowd psychology, and character credibility. By executing such a structured yet chaotic segment, WWE reinforces the importance of tension, payoff, and narrative consequence in professional wrestling. Fans can expect Solo Sikoa's next chapter to explore retaliation, faction strategy, or personal evolution, while SmackDown continues to leverage these story beats to maintain high stakes, audience investment, and unpredictable storytelling as 2026 begins.